get charged all the time.
All right, I'm giving you 1 minute to set up then.
Safety on.
Y'all ready? Don't push.
Once I'm ready, we
Well, you've seen how events have unfolded today. As I made it clear earlier, that we had indicated through a letter that we are willing to cooperate, although we believe it's a witch hunt, and that people would be available for interviews today. Clearly, the s.o.c.u has been receiving instructions from the political directorate. I've spoken earlier about their public position, this government's views that the whole economy is driven by drug money, that in today's paper you have Mr. Eric Phillips, who works in the office of the president, saying about over 700,000 ounces of gold is smuggled out of Guyana on an annual basis, which is close to $1 billion. All the levels of criminality. And yet they have not made, in 2 years of this government, a single arrest of drug dealers of a major note or to block the drug trafficking, nor have they brought a case against anyone for smuggling $1 billion per annum out of the country. But guess who they've gone after? The political directorate. So the entire s.o.c.u that was set up under the People's Progressive Party to go after organized crime, it's called Special Organized Crime Unit, to support the FIU, the Financial Investigations Unit, that now the focus has been shifted to going after political directorate. Now just look at it. So with all the worries that this country has, etc., you now going after Luncheon for one plot of land that he got in 23 years at Pradoville. And that is the entire focus of this government, or Jagdeo and the others. They asked me several questions relating to the Pradoville transaction. And I said, I made a short statement because they asked me questions about my official, in my official capacity, and I have immunities on those. So I refuse to answer those questions. So we can expect with this the vindictive nature of this government that maybe charges would be laid in the future, and when those are laid, we'll contest them in court.
Well, you were officially
yes, I was arrested. I was arrested at my office because after you left, the media left, they arrested Dr. Luncheon. Then they came over and said that you're arrested.
On what grounds?
My lawyers who were there asked, and there was a hemming and hawing about the nature of the charges or why I'm being arrested. Nevertheless, we did not resist arrest. I came down here. I said, "You're trying. You asking me questions in my private capacity or my official capacity at that time? Because if you're doing that, you're going to breach the veil of immunity that I have for official acts. And that will have far-reaching consequences in this country, because anything that Granger does or any subsequent president in his official capacity to would be challenged and can be challenged.
Did they answer that?
No, they did not. I sympathize for the people who work here.
Why?
I said the policemen, because they are under severe public pressure, political pressure. Every week, the head of SARA, Clive Thomas, speaks about who they must lock up and the level of criminality, etc. A week ago, the Minister of Public Security, Ramjatan, ahead of a police investigation, talked about locking up, charging people this week. Basil Williams has put $100 million in his budget to come after political opponents. They've hired political operatives as their advisors and their prosecutors, people who come from their offices. It's part of a witch hunt. On a daily basis, you hear about who they have to lock up. And I have no doubt that the staff in s.o.c.u, they're under tremendous pressure to come after political opponents of this government rather than to go after the people that they were set up to go after, to support the Financial Institutions Act and to go after money laundering, etc. in a major way. They're going after who stole a house lot.
So
That's one.
You initiated in essence, you initiated your right of immunity as a president.
No, official acts, yes. And
to answer all questions?
No. And on the other matters, I said I prefer not to make a statement at this time. So this is, in a nutshell, you have the extent of my interview. And so they can choose to do what they want to do, which is the charges, etc. And that's fine, we'll contest in court, But if they believe that any of these acts will intimidate us or make us, scared of exposing the wrongdoings of the government, where they're taking the country, they're wrong about it.
In terms of the areas that you sheltered on, what were those? And what were those that you
Well, it was a general thing about that they had, the question was about they had some audit reports from NISIL and NCN and Pradoville. And those were the three things that they talked about.
Where's Dr. Luncheon and
Dr. Luncheon is still in here, and so the others are still here.
So you're free to go?
Yes.
Any key question you sheltered on the immunity from?
Huh?
Any key
No, not a specific, not anything specific. I said acts committed between the period. They asked me how long have you been president, and I said from 1999 to 2011, so that period.
So
my
to be clear,
official.
were there any specific allegations leveled against you?
No specific allegations. They came up with a generic thing that they've been saying. What they said, read out by Dr. Luncheon. They read, something like that, that generic, that sort of thing. But that was it. All right. Okay then. All right. Take care.
What did they ask you?
Questions that had a lot more to do than I thought, including the matters related to Pradoville, but also matters related to NISIL, GWI, and GPA, as far as they have provided the services in Pradoville.
So you're free to go now?
That's what I've been advised.
Have you been-
That's why I'm out here.
Have you been released on station bails on cognizance or just free to go?
And I have now been told I'm free to go.
Okay.
No charges?
Anything else you have
No
to speak to
conditions.
my lawyer.
Who's your lawyer?
The team is headed by the former Attorney General Adel.
Any specific question that you thought really rattled you?
Not really. You will find out that during the interrogation that I had there, the atmosphere was fairly friendly, and I don't think there's any cause for either party, myself or themselves, to become extreme where those questions and answers are concerned.
You foresee charges coming, sir?
Well, I don't know what the intentions of the state are. All I could speak to is the investigations that involve myself.
Did you give a
And
statement?
as far as that is concerned, I don't see any scope for me to be charged subsequent to the conclusion.
Did you give a
You
statement?
signed for any?
I gave a statement, a pretty straightforward statement, based on what I had been told my presence here was based on.
And you signed to that?
And I signed it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
General, you have a right?
I don't have a right. Dr. Jagdeo, I got to put my mouth in.
The entire
Dr. Jagdeo, I don't have